I'm so not prepared. Um, I'm actually supposed to be working because it's month end close, but I'm honoring the commitment that I made to myself to continue with this journey. I'm so not prepared. And okay, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about tonight. And I was like, you know what? How about if we discuss how introverts um, are in social settings? Our most favorite place. Ooh. No, it's not. Anyway, here we go. Have you ever walked into a social event and immediately started to scream for the exit? Like you're just trying to figure out, like, how do I get out of here? Introverts will get this one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like people in moderation, but there is always that moment where I'm like, yep, I'm going to have to people today. I feel like we have to actually talk ourselves into doing certain things because we just not rather. And honestly, as I grow older, that sentiment becomes more true. There was a point in time when I was like, just go with the flow, and I did, right? 'Cause we want to people please and fit in. But now I'm like, you know what? I don't have to do that anymore. That's the beauty about getting older. Anyway, the reality of it is, I do not drink, nor do I smoke. Never have, never will at this point, right? So when everyone starts feeling nice, they get to escape mentally. And at that time, I really wanted to escape physically. I can't. Anyway, welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner. This is your safe place to learn about quiet, solitude, bliss, and my quirks. Again, today we're talking about how I thrive in social settings. Like when folks, what I see when I go out with people who drink, even if it's not a lot, like if as soon as they hold a glass, it's almost as if like that is their energy, that is their kryptonite, that is their source. And what do I have? My bag, and me looking at the door, trying to find an exit sign. Because it's like, oh my God. Because the reality of it is, when they started to basically, take their sip here and there, like the more they sip, the more they loosen up, the more they laugh louder and louder and louder, and they start to act carefree. Me, I'm fully alert, completely sober, and feeling every ounce of small talk in 4K clarity. They escape mentally, and I'm over here trying to find the exit because it's like, and it's what, it's always been that way for me. It has always been that way for me because rarely have I been among people where there's another person that don't drink at all. Some people say, "Oh, I don't drink," but they'll have a glass of wine. I consider that drinking because I feel as if, like, if you're holding a glass, I mean, this is water, but if you're holding a glass, that one, you look cool. I look like a dweeb with a bottle of water. Um, and so it's like, okay, so they had, they're growing more and more in their strength because they have their kryptonite or whatever you want to call it. And I'm growing more and more stressed and drained because I don't have kryptonite in my hands. And yeah, that's just how it is for us. I feel like introverts are always plotting their route to the restroom. First of all, like it's like trying to find where's the restroom? I need to go tinkle. And the reality of it is, you just want to escape, right? To be honest, social settings can be painful for introverts, for real, for real. Not because we don't like people, but because it's too much. It's too much stimulation at once. It really is. And I like it. The lights, the music, the chatter, the energy. It's like trying to charge your phone in a storm. Can't. Cannot. Your social battery drains in real time, and you can almost feel it sliding from 80% to 5%. Have you ever been someplace and you realize, oh no, my phone is dying? You don't have a charger. I wouldn't even ask. I mean, now I think I'm courageous enough to ask if I know someone, but if I don't know the person, anyone, I'm not going to ask. So you know that feeling when your phone is dying and you're basically watching it go from like 10%, and all you're thinking is, I need to have enough battery on here to get home. That's what it's like for us in the room. Like that is what it's like for introverts in this basically loud, boisterous room. And then guess what? Out of nowhere, someone decides it's time for a group activity. Let's do an icebreaker, or hey, let's do karaoke. So I've had that experience a number of years ago. Um, a friend had invited me to her home to celebrate. I think it was around the holidays. It was around the Christmas holidays, and then I brought someone else with me because that during that time I really needed to have a human crush with me. And we went, and I can't say that I was totally comfortable there because even though I knew the hostess and like and her spouse, I didn't know, even though I have seen, going to her home for other, small events, I had seen some of her family, or met rather. I didn't know them, right? Because when you meet someone, unless you spend time, you don't know them. Basically, you just see them in passing, right? And so, we're there. And then there were new people, right? Most of them are drinking because it's a holiday. So they all having a good old time. And Antonia just sitting there like, oh, child. And all I'm thinking is like, how much longer we got to stay? I don't ask because I think that would be rude, but we can think it. But anyway, I remember she said, let's do karaoke. And I wanted to die because at that point I had never done karaoke before. And, people were volunteering. I think they had ended up calling on me. I don't remember. I remember doing it though. And at the end of it, because I really didn't want to do it, right? But at some point I realized I didn't want to look like that person, right? That person that was just not trying to have fun. Because I think sometimes when people look at us, they think that we're not having a great time, and then they feel bad, and then you feel bad because they feel bad. And the thing is, it's like, you know what? I said to myself, you know what? Let me just try it. And I will be fair to say that it was actually not so bad. I actually enjoyed doing this karaoke. Now, it was a small group, so it's not like it was, like a big group. Um, I was uncomfortable because I didn't have the liquid courage in me, but I was proud of myself for even doing it. This was maybe like maybe like 3 years ago. I feel like it was around 3 years ago. I think it was COVID. Not think it was definitely COVID time. Because I remember like that was the conversations that we were having about who got um what is it called, who got the vaccine, and because some of them work for the city and they in the medical field. And I don't remember if at the time I had it or not, the vaccine. But anyway, that was my first experience with karaoke. And then I did it after that. Wait a second, I can't remember if it was during COVID because I remember we did it at a company holiday party also. But that one was different because we planned that one, and it was me and another introvert that was going to do it. But then other people decided to join us. So that one was fine because I feel as if I know about something far enough advanced, I can mentally prepare, right? But the reality of it is when you're asked to do some things on the spot, that's when your heart stops a little bit and your brain goes blank. Like, we say, what now? You want me to do what? And then that's when the brain overworks and you're trying to figure out like all the excuses that you can find. Where's the bathroom? Do you need help with something? Oh, I'll take that to the kitchen. No, 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 sit, I'll take it. Find something, anything to do to basically not have to participate. But a lot of times that it doesn't work. So did the karaoke thing. And that's the thing, like if I'm around the right people, I can allow myself to have fun. Don't get me wrong, I have been, it's not like I haven't been clubbing and stuff like that before, but again, with the right people. Um, I can walk in ready to prepare if I am, if I know what to expect, expect, expect. I need to be working. I need to be working. Well, I can walk in basically prepared to do whatever. If I know, it's like having a test. Like if you know you're gonna have a test, you study and you prepare for the test, right? So that's what it is. Like if we know about it far in advance, like we can mentally prepare so that we get there. It's not basically like a total shock. It's not like we have to basically do this thing on a whim, right? So anyway, here is the funny part. When I do go out, I actually do like to dance. Like I said, you've seen me. Well, if you're following me on social media or either on this channel or on Instagram, you've seen that I posted some videos where I'm dancing out in public by myself. Now that's something that was new. Well, me dancing in public and recording it. Um, I didn't do it all the time before that though. I like to dance at home, whether it's in the backyard, in the house. But that wasn't the first time that I did it in that capacity was when it was a couple months ago when I was walking to work and my spirit told me to put your camera up, girl, and do some dancing, and I did. It wasn't a long dance or anything like that, but I think it was just a moment of me just choosing to allow myself to be vulnerable in that moment, and it wasn't so bad. I mean, I posted the video, didn't I? But anyway, so I've been to events with someone, right? Because it depending on who I'm going with. I usually like to just dance by myself, and that's why like if a group of girls are going out together, we try. Well, I remember like when I was younger, we used to actually have at least one guy with us, and that one guy would be all of our boyfriend, right? Because anybody wants to dance, oh no, 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 my boyfriend. So, so that was a thing. And somebody moving closer to me, I'm moving closer to our boyfriend because no, you know, and that's just how it is, right? And even now, like when I go out, if we're going out as a group, then I mean we haven't been out for a number of years now, actually, but usually I'm going out with fellas, and so therefore, I already have my dancing partner. Thanks, thanks, but no thanks. Because the thing is, it's like I've been in situations where you go out, and let's say like I'm invited to an event, because that has happened where I'm invited to an event, and someone asks, "Oh, would you like to dance?" And you kind of want to oblige, but not really, and it's like, okay, or you say no. You say no, and but when I say no, then I'm like, all this good music going to waste because I'm planted in the seat. But if I don't say no and I get up and dance, or if I'm already dancing by myself and then somebody asks for a dance, I'm like, so then I oblige, give them maybe like one dance, and then they want to take 10, and then I just find my way to my seat, because then I don't know. I like to have fun by myself. That's what I'm realizing. Like I really and truly appreciate dancing by myself. Um, when somebody because when I'm dancing by myself, I feel like everything shuts down and I'm fine. Like I'm just fine doing my thing with myself. But then when somebody asks, it's like you just interrupted my whole flow, and now I feel awkward. Um, but yeah. So maybe I'll dance with a person to be polite, but after that, I'm done. I'll sit down for the rest of the night. And it kind of sucks because there are times when I'm actually having fun. I actually was scrolling through my video a couple weeks ago, and about 2 years ago, I went to one of my sister friend's birthday party, and I was watching videos of myself in this big room with all these people. Soho was playing, I was dancing by myself. And the person that came with me recorded me, and I was like, this is how my life should be. I should be. And then you see people like around, like basically looking, because I had on a cute little red jumpsuit and it was admiring me and all these things. But I feel like in that moment, because I think, yeah, at that time, because it was after COVID, and at that point, I was already on my journey. Like, I feel like I was already on my way to basically like just allow myself to just be. Now, If I went by myself, then it would be a different story. I would not have been dancing. But because I had a human crutch with me, even though they were at the table and not physically dancing with me, I was okay with basically like just getting up and moving my body because I love music. I love music, um, and I love to dance, especially soca and skanking. But anyway, that's kind of what it's like for introverts at social events. We can thrive. We definitely can thrive there, but only under certain conditions. The right environment, the right people, the right energy. Because if you're with the wrong person, it's like running a marathon with no water. Speaking of which, sit time. When you go with an extrovert, it's an experience. You enter together, but they immediately start doing a room tour, right? So then you're kind of like stuck because one of two things can happen. You're walking with a person and they decide that, you know what, I'm going to do right by you. So therefore, like they allow you to basically like just latch on as they're walking around the room. As they're walking around the room. And you're uncomfortable, but my thing is I don't care. I'm holding on for dear life, right? So it's either that or you enter together, they see someone, what up, Joe Schmo? Be right back. They don't come back. They don't come back. So you're sitting there like waiting and you're feeling awkward and start if you're sitting down, you're doing this thing, and if you're standing, you're basically hopefully by a wall, right? And then you start looking at your clock. Because I do this thing where like I try to look at my watch to see like what time it is without making it seem obvious. Um, because there are times that as soon as I get there, I'm ready to leave in 5 minutes. That's just how it is. I mean, I'm sitting here itching just a thought. But yeah, they're and sometimes like they're introducing you to people that you didn't plan to meet, telling your whole life story for you, and when it's finally time to leave, you can't because they're doing another goodbye tour, and sometimes that goodbye tour takes a long time. So that's why I'm appreciating the fact that I'm comfortable enough now to go certain places by myself. Because when I'm ready to go, I was ready to go. I just want to leave. They've got to hug and wave and say goodbye and say, "Oh, and then start something else may pop up, and basically off to the races with more conversations. It's too much. It's too much. Oh gosh. Anyway, meanwhile, you're there staying at the door like we said bye twice already. Can we please go? Again, not saying it out loud. It's just inside the head because the reality of it is I think we do this thing where I do this thing where like, all right, ready when you are. And they'll be like, yeah, whenever you are. And it's like, no, I'm ready now. We don't want to say I'm ready now. Okay, ready when you are. That's our cue for like, can we go now? But then it takes a while for us to leave in anyway, right? But when you're with the right person, someone who gets you, it's completely different. It's a different experience. I'm gonna give you an example. So one of my colleagues, um, sister friend, her church had an event at a park, not too far, 2 miles away, walking. And I went. It was in the summertime, and mommy can't. We walk. Mommy walked with me because mommy wanted to get her steps. So, but mommy decided that she wasn't going to go where they were. Mommy sat and she was playing her games on her phone. And so I walked in, and while I walked in, I was trying to find her, and but I'm that person where like when I go certain places, like I was hoping that I didn't find him, so I can just leave, and I would be like, but I came, but I just didn't see you. But I called her and I said, hey, trying to figure out where she was, and she told me, and then I found them most of heavy. And she did this. This is the first time somebody did this. She looped her arm through mine, and she walked with. Well, she allowed me to walk with her everywhere. She brought me to certain people because it was her church event. So she walked me to certain people, not everybody, to introduce me because I was doing T-shirts for them also for an upcoming event. And she would not leave me alone. And it wasn't until after I left I realized like I didn't feel it. It's like I felt like she understood me, and I appreciated it. Like I felt seen, I felt understood, and she didn't make me feel weird, right? And when she was about to do something, because it was a barbecue, and when she was about to do something, she had me sit near where her husband was sitting, and she told her sister, I don't know what she said to her sister, but it was almost as if like keep an eye on Antonia or something to that effect. And I just felt seen. Like I felt, oh my God, she gets me now. But that was an experience that I truly appreciated because I really can't explain how it can be for us when we're you almost as if like we feel like a fish out of water because you don't know anybody. The person is off doing whatever have you, and when you're the one hosting an event, you can't, you really can't, you don't really have the time to babysit somebody. I need a babysitter. I just do. And so for me, I'm okay with just going, showing my face so I can say I was here and then I leave. But I went, I spent a little time, and then she walked me out so she can see mom, and I left. Um, but yeah, so that's two instances: going with somebody who's an extrovert and going with who doesn't really get us, and then going with someone who actually does. Two different experiences. And I did leave that day just feeling good. I didn't feel like my energy was drained or anything like that. In that case, right? And so she wore me out to mom. So therefore, in that case, like she left with me, quietly without drama. I didn't feel guilty. I don't think she felt guilty leaving her people, right? Um, I appreciated it. Life is life. Introverts, like if I go to events, I really and truly don't mind just sitting in a corner. We're just in one place. If it's possible to have a deep conversation with someone, that's beautiful. If not, then I don't mind people watching, um, looking at my phone. Because the one thing I'm trying to do these days is if I go someplace, I'm doing my best to not be have my head down like this, right? Because I think it's like it's rude. But what else do you do? So I basically just sit there and have this pleasant look on my face, thinking about all the other things that I could be doing right now. Um, that's just how it is. So anyway, that's what thriving looks like for introverts. We don't need to be in the loud. We don't need to be the loudest in the room. We don't need to work the crowd. We thrive when the energy feels authentic. I have had my share of events that I've planned, even here in my home. Years ago, I used to love to do a barbecue Memorial Day weekend. Um, and for that one, we used to invite friends, colleagues, family. It used to be a lot of people, because I love to cook, and so therefore, I remember one of the time because I have a very long table. I don't like food outside because I'm always thinking, oh, birds, flies, dust, bleh. And so I would basically have it set up in the house. And there was one time when I felt like the house was it's literally a soup kitchen because I have a very long dining room table, and the line was out the door, and they came in, went around the table, got their food, and it was ample. Haven't done that in years. I don't think I will again, but I'll never say never. But so I've had events like that. I've had um, you know, dinner. I would invite over family for any of the holidays. Excuse me. Plan event at church. Plan my family reunions with my, like with a team. So like I've done stuff. The problem with that though is when the event is going on, I want to be in the kitchen washing dishes. I want to be anywhere but in the mix. Um, it's just how it is. I mean, it's just how it is. We thrive when we can anticipate what's coming, not to be ambushed with, let's all sing in front of everyone. We thrive when our peace is protected and our presence is enough. So, yeah, we might leave early, dance alone, and sit quietly on the sidelines sometimes, but we're not antisocial. We're just intentional. And when we do engage, it's deep, it's meaningful, and it's real. If you have ever been the introvert in a full room of social butterflies? Tell me in the comments below. What's your funniest or most awkward social experience? I have plenty, and I think over the course of time, I'm going to share them right in here because I know that you've got some stories because I know that I have too. Also, before you go, please remember if you have not picked up my book as yet, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts, it is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. Please do not forget to like, subscribe if you're not subscribed as yet, and share this video with someone who it will help. Also, remember, peace is not a place, it is a choice. Please stay blissful, and I will see you next time. Have a great night.